This is Underground Opera.
Jesse Braintree, get over here.
Acting like a clown, interrupting class. I never thought I'd learn my lesson so fast. Sitting at a desk, got no place to run. A ruler to the knuckles isn't any fun. Hanging in the hallway with no permission slip. First time a woman touched below my hip. I got so many bruises that day upon my bum, 'cause nobody spanks like a nun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody spanks like a nun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody spanks like a nun. Well, I didn't learn a lesson, so I suffered like my pain. Whack me with her beads or bang me with a cane. Drag me by the ear and slap me in the face, 'cause I didn't do my homework or wouldn't stand in place. Some nuns use a paddle, some nuns use a stick. Bend over the desk, get it over quick. I got all these scars all over my bum, because nobody spanks like a nun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody spanks like a nun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody spanks like a nun. Yeah, you think that it's a joke, it's just a funny song. But if you went to school with me, you'll probably sing along. And when I'm feeling frisky, I drink a little bit. My girlfriend wears a habit, I call her Sister Dear. She bends me on her knee, and she spanks my bum. And when it's good and red, it's time to get her done. I just can't kick the habit, I'm having too much fun, 'cause nobody spanks like a nun.
Calm down. I know everybody's glad to see me. I would be too. And well, we're just going to have a few quick announcements here. Last week I spoke on the tragedy happened down at Good Vibes and Triumphs at a festival. There I will be putting up. There's a new GoFundMe link to help with her funeral, with the funeral expenses of the person that passed away there, and I will include that in the description, because I just saw it a few minutes ago. Otherwise, it'd already be there. And last week I included a Cash App address to her mother. I guess this is the GoFundMe, and I don't know which one's better to use, but either or, I'm going to put it in the link. And let's see, August 30th. Dino's Pizza Military Appreciation Night. Our friends down at Dino's Pizza, they're having the veteran homecoming from 8 to 10, 504 South Dixie Highway, Mulder, Kentucky. If you're down that way, get out there and see them. My friend Southern Rhythm will be playing there. I think there might be some other bands there too. And of course, I'm going to talk about the open mic at Hitching Post, 115 West Market Street, New Albany, Indiana, every Monday night with old Pappy. I've been going out down there, and so is my guest. We've been going down there, trying to make sure it's a good open mic, and of course, then my good friend Mr. Uncool Randy, local comedian, hosting the Sunday night shit show from 7 p.m. to question mark, because I don't see an ending time. Every time I look at his events, there's no ending time, so I don't know what time they end. But 7 p.m. on at the High Horse Air Conditioned Bar. And that's literally what the place is called, High Horse Air Conditioned Bar, 1032 Story Avenue, Louisville, Kentucky. And that's it. That's all my announcements. And I will bring our guest right on. Tell us who you are, where you're from.
My name is Jesse Braintree, and I'm from Southern Indiana now. Started a band back in Texas back in 2009. with my cousin Neil. And then we ended up moving the band up to Boston. Actually, I moved the band to Boston. Neil stayed in Texas. And we did that around 2013. And then in 2019, relocated the band out here to Southern Indiana, or basically what everyone here calls Kentuckiana, Greater Louisville area. And that's where we're based now. And we're called Jesse and the Hogg Brothers. And the song you just heard play is our new single, and coincidentally a new video up on YouTube called Nobody Spanks Like a Nun. And it was a song that I heard a song that was written by my bass player CJ5 Hogg, who he's one of my new members since we've relocated out here, and he played the song for me, and it didn't make sense to me, but I liked it, and so I said, would you mind if I change the lyrics? So I did, and we kept the chorus, and obviously because that was the crux of the song. And it's a very popular song at our shows live, and we were happy to put it out about a month ago on Spotify, and then last Friday the video hit YouTube, and we're over 1,100 views already. So I am very, very grateful and blessed that people are checking it out and giving it a listen. And obviously, if you're watching this even on replay, please go check it out on YouTube. And you know how it works with the algorithm. If you comment, even if you say nasty things about us, we'll get more credit, because YouTube likes comments more than just people watching.
Look at all these people commenting. Tony Cock. I mean, Coke. Cock. Is it Cock or Coke?
I think it's Cock.
I think it. No, I think it's his Coke.
I met him. He was in a hotel lobby, and the woman basically behind the counter said to him, she said, "Are you Tony Cock?" And he burst out laughing, and I'm like, wow, what a cool name, but that's not his name.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she was, maybe she was insinuating that perhaps there'd be a little bonus if he stayed in the right room. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to get him on live to find out what really happened that night over at the Super 8 in Sandusky, Ohio. Oh,
Maureen's watching. Our friend Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. We're going to be playing with Maureen and her band on the 31st over at a place called Never Say Die in Louisville. And what's really great is a band known for misogynistic songs, supposedly. I certainly wouldn't classify us that way. Is playing a bill with all female artists. So we have Ipsy Dixit, which is Maureen's band, and they're really cool female rock. Well worth your time and energy to come out and see anytime they're playing. You'll also, from Lexington, you got Alicia New, and she puts on one heck of a show. She's got a great voice and some really cool material. So I hope you like that. And then opening the night is going to be two really great girls, also from the greater Lexington area called Fighting Futures. And they are very talented, beautiful harmony vocals with the two of them. And so overall, it's going to be a really cool bill. And there's plenty of room at Never Say Die. I didn't even realize, but we went to see our friends Medicinal Moonshine there a couple of weeks back. And I didn't realize they got an upstairs balcony. So if you go in there and you say, oh, it looks really crowded, just go upstairs to the balcony, but don't throw anything, because someone threw a beer can at me when we were in Atlanta, and he said, well, I thought in the song it said you were singing about throwing bottles. I go, yeah, I'm singing about it, but I don't want you throwing bottles or cans at me. But, life is fun. You never know what you're going to get.
Well,
this is my friend Elvis right over here, and he just figured he'd sit in. He has nothing to say though, because he's dead.
I've met that CJ5 guy. He's kind of an asshole. No offense, but
Well, he's very proud of himself, and he's real excited about. He's got an album coming out in the winter this year, and I'm real excited about it because I've been working with him with it, and it's going to be a really interesting cowpunk album, a lot different than what you hear out of us. But on the other hand, it's still cowpunk, and which means it's good stuff. So look for CJ5's album, and it's going to be a 4-song EP, and I believe it's titled "I Will Rest My Head," and he's going to cover a song done by someone who's no longer with us, an artist out of the New England area called Algie Afterbirth, and he wrote a song along with this other guy, and it's called Mother Goose Me. And you're going to hear CJ5's version, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot different. CJ's he's interesting. Let's just put it that way. And if you see him in the video, in fact, someone saw the video today and they texted me and they said, is he British? I went, no. And they said, well, because I saw his bass guitar and it looked like he was British. I went, no, that's not a British flag anyway. I don't know where you got it. It's like masking tape on a red bass. I don't know why that looks British to you, but it's a lot of people haven't been around.
it was it's Eddie Van Halen's guitar. That's what that is.
Oh yeah. So and he's not even British. So yeah. So it's British. Yeah. Eddie Van Halen's from London now, and everyone knows that.
Eddie Van Halen did his first guitar like that with that white tape stuff.
Okay.
when he first did that.
No, see. Oh man. No, someone's calling me. I can't send him straight to voicemail, but I'll just put the phone down and hopefully it goes away.
Well, about the song, who was the backing vocalist? Tell us about that.
Oh, well, I was very fortunate to just be able to reach out to a good friend of mine, Linda Ritchie. She used to sing in a bunch of different bands when we were back in New England. I got to know her and her husband, Tony. And Tony runs Triad Studios in Rhode Island and does a phenomenal job. He's actually been nominated for a few different awards for his studio work. And I asked him if he wouldn't mind, mastering and mixing the song, which he did. And then as a bonus, Linda sang on it, and that's why you hear that little when you get to the chorus, you hear that like that. It sounds like a halo effect or a chorus of nuns singing, and it's really appreciated having somebody like that as a friend that can contribute to the song. And obviously, we mentioned her in the credits as they roll at the end of the video.
Right. She was part of this. What were they called?
She was in a lot of different bands, and she was she used the stage name and appeared in a band called the Cedar Street Sluts. And if you haven't checked them out, they've got videos up on YouTube and stuff. They were a really popular band in New England. And also played outside of New England, but for mostly in New England.
All right. How did you make the video?
Well, I'm glad you asked because, I usually like to use a professional videographer, or at least someone who calls themselves professional. All our earlier videos we had done by Tony Sahato, who's out of Jamaica Plain, which is basically Boston, and he did a lot of our earlier band videos. So I contacted a couple of local videographers out this way, and the first guy quoted me $5,000, and yet he couldn't even be firm on that figure. He goes, that's just a ballpark, it might cost more. And I said, you don't have to go any further. I says, there's no way I'm going to spend $5,000 on a 3-minute song. And so he said, well, I've got a friend of mine who might be interested. And so he gives me this other guy's name, and he was a lot a lot nicer to talk to. But he told me, he says, "Hey, look," he says, I couldn't do it for less than $3,000." And I told him, I said, "Well, that's okay." I says, "That's not going to work either." And he says, "But I'm an award-winning videographer." And I said, "Well," I says, "I'm sure you are, but I'm not looking to win any awards. I just want to do a video about our song." And then I sat down with another videographer who actually videoed us live at Waddystock a couple of years ago. And he said to me, he said, "Jesse, you got an iPhone. Why don't you just do it yourself?" And so we did. We went out to the Hogg compound, which is right here in New Albany, Indiana. And so we went out to the compound. We dressed up the inside of the compound to look like a schoolroom. We put desks in there, a chalkboard. We put some school posters in the background. Everybody dressed up like schoolboys. And of course, we had a few nuns. And I think it turned out fantastic. My good friend and guitar player, Kenny Hogg, did all the editing and stuff. And so this is fully organic Hogg production. And I think it came out fantastic. So look for us to do a lot more videos that we're going to do ourselves because, my good friends in the band WMFO out of St. Louis, Missouri, and they are the kings of scum rock today. There is nobody that does scum rock like them. And I was talking with their singer, Captain Perverto, and he told me, he says, "Look, we do all our videos ourselves. We just shoot it on an iPhone and we edit it." And I really probably should have done this years ago, but Tony does a great job. In fact, we still have a video coming out of one of our singles that's going to be released later this year. And that video is already filmed. We delayed putting the song out because we just decided that our gothic country cowpunk was going to take a while to mature. So now we got a few songs in that realm, and that's actually what inspired the CJ5 album too, because his album is going to be gothic cowpunk, and if that doesn't intrigue you, then I don't know what will, because it's certainly intriguing to me.
And you're in a movie.
Yeah, the whole band was in a movie. It was kind of weird. I got a call from the guy who runs Cluck Cluck Productions, and he was working with one of the best screamers in horror movies, Genevieve Rossi. And Jen, if you're watching, thank you so much for including us in your film. Jen is a scream queen, and so she did this short film years ago called Attack of the Killer Chickens, and then she partnered with Dave Stein at Cluck Cluck Productions, and they decided to make a full-length movie. And then they asked me if the band wanted to be the quote-unquote band in the movie. So we are the band in the movie. We ended up going to New York City to do the scene that we all get killed in, and that's not a spoiler. The name of the movie is Attack of the Killer Chickens, not chickens that come and shake your hand and say, "How you doing?" And so they came, and they also came to our show. We played at the Shrine World Music Venue, which is in Harlem, and we've played there a bunch of times. And Popak, thank you so much for having us there so many times. It's just a fantastic cultural place to play. It's right on 7th Avenue or Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. We've played in Harlem now a bunch of times, and my personal opinion is I would much rather play Harlem than play in Manhattan, because in Manhattan it's pay to play, and in Harlem you get paid to play. Kind of a better arrangement. So anyway, they came to our show and they recorded the whole show. They ended up recording our set through the soundboard, and then when they were done, since the movie you only have like little clips of your performance because they don't need full songs or anything, they said, do you want the board tapes? And so we ended up putting out our cheapest CD ever, because all the stuff was already recorded. I sent it to get mastered and mixed, and we used the Bridge Sound and Stage, and Alex Allenson is a fantastic engineer, and he mixed and mastered the album and put that out. And now, coincidentally, the movie has actually been very successful, especially on DVD. All the DVDs have sold out, and so they're going to do a Blu-ray version. And for those that don't know, Blu-ray holds a lot more material than a DVD. And so they asked if they could take our entire live performance and add that as bonus material. So I'm looking forward to the Blu-ray coming out with our full concert from that evening. And so yeah, it's real exciting, and the movie's great because it won the 2022 Best Horror Comedy at the San Diego Indie Film Festival. So if you like B movies and you're not easily offended by curse words, then I'd recommend it. If you are easily offended, then I don't watch it. Just listen to our music. We try to keep our music tasteful. In all the music that we've recorded as a band, we've used profanity on one song, so we try to keep it clean, Not that we're family oriented. That's called The Legend of the Lesson of Fishing and Drinking.
Oh, yeah.
We drop F-bombs on that song. And but outside of that, we don't do that. I mean, I think you can be funny. And I was talking with Kenny Hogg last week because I was down in Dallas with him, and he says to me, he says, have you ever listened to the Clean Comedy Channel? And I said, what is it on Sirius? He goes, yeah. He goes, I listen to that. He says, because it's just a lot funnier to be able to make people laugh without having to go into the gutter. But there's nothing wrong with gutter, because speaking of gutter, one of our songs that we do as a sing-along live was written by my good friend Hanson Barlow out of New Hampshire. And Hanson, if you're watching, thank you so much. He's as much of a hog as any hog in the band. He wrote a song called Domestic Short Hair that we ended up recording, and he joined us in the studio. We do it in English and we do it in Spanish. There's videos up on YouTube, and it's off our Love Cats CD, where every song is about cats. And we also perform Gutter, like I mentioned, which he wrote, and we also do another one of his songs called Denim Jacket. And so, yeah, he's definitely somebody that I've got a lot of appreciation for. He's a really good friend, and he's in a band called the Turbo Cats out of New Hampshire. And so for my friends and fans in New England, please check out the Turbo Cats. They put on one heck of a show. And if you go see them, you're going to get a kick out of their bass player. He has a cow costume, and they do this song called My Cat Looks Like a Cow, Moo Yow. It's great. And they just did another brand new song on their debut CD, which is coming out soon. And it really is close to heart. Cruising for Za, a song about driving around looking for good pizza. And so definitely check them out. Yeah, my fan club. All one of them is they just won't leave me alone right now.
All right. How many hogs are there?
Well, we've got a lot. In fact, if you look at our album, people go, "Are this many people in the band?" They go, "Well, not actively, but there's been a lot." We started the band back in 2009, and so just about everybody who was in the band has played on the album, and so that's why you see all the credits. But the current band is basically myself on vocals, and I also play a cajon tab and a kazoo, which those aren't really instruments, and I write the songs along with band members. We've got out of Dallas, Texas, we got my partner in crime all the way back to the beginning of the band and did our first show back in 2009, and that's Kenny Hogg. He plays guitar or bass, depending on what we need. And Kenny's not at every show, but he's at a lot of our shows. And then the rest of the band is all locally based out of this area. Although there are a few guests that appear with us on occasion, so I'll name the guests first. We got Cash Hogg. He's out of Boston, Massachusetts. He's a great guitar player. He's going to be joining us for a few shows out in Ohio in October and one here in Louisville. So look for Cash. See, he's the young handsome guy of the band. So ladies, yeah, give him a lot of love. He appreciates it. And then also he was out of Boston and now he's moving down to Georgia, and that is the great Joe Bob Hogg. And when he's on they basically put him on work release now, so he can now relocate, and he's going to go move to Atlanta. He just wants to stay away from the law enforcement that incarcerated him for all those years. And luckily, he was let out on work release a few times, and he played a few shows with us over the last few years. And he is a phenomenal player. You can see him on some of the videos playing a resonator, but he plays a lot of slide and everything else. Really talented. And then there's Stevie Joe Hogg, who was here in Southern Indiana. He just relocated down to Florida. Stevie's been with me all the way back since 2013 when we moved the band to Boston. Stevie came up from the state of Florida, where he is now, and joined the band. And then when we relocated out this way, he came with me and helped me start our Southern Indiana / Kentuckiana based band. And then I mentioned CJ5. He's my bass player. He also occasionally will do a 2-man act with me, and he'll play an acoustic guitar with a fork in it, because he's a spicy guy, so he puts a fork in his guitar. And then we've got the patriarch of the Hogg family, Pappy Hogg. He'll play guitar or bass depending on what the needs of the band are. And Pappy is also running that open mic over at the Hitchin Post every Monday night, starting at 7 o'clock. So if you're in New Albany or you're not too far away and you want to show people your chops, come on down on Monday nights and play with Pappy. And then we got my drummer, Hester Hogg. Hester was originally out of the Southern Ohio, Kentucky area, right around the Newport, Kentucky area, somewhere in that greater vicinity. And then he just relocated out this way. And so that's my local band, and we play all the time. And of course, we also get some guest appearances from the lovely Kitty Hogg, who will play with us once in a while. She's my wife, and she's a great dancer as well as a vocalist that will guest. And of course, we were fortunate last year when we played the JP Fest to be reunited with my little girl, Lisa Marie Hogg. I love her so much. I miss her, but she's down in Florida also, having a great time. She's now a tattoo artist, so if you need to get some skin art done, go see Lisa Marie and listen to her album, Lisa Marie and the Baconette. She's got her own band, and it's really cool stuff. And check out her video, I Only Hit You When I'm Drunk.
Anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
We've got a lot of material coming out this year.
Kitty Banged the Bride.
Yeah, and we also started working with Aldora Records out of the UK. Tom reached out to me, and that's Tom Aldora, and he's a nice enough guy. He reached out to me online. He said, is there any way we could get you to do some stuff with us? So we did a song on this compilation album called Music to Make Your Ears Hurt. It was put out by Blood Orange and Black and Blue Records, and it features some unreleased G.G. Allen material as well as a bunch of cool punk rock bands. And then it's got our song on it called Squirrel Dumplings. And it's a song about one of my former drummers. He used to tell me about different roadkills that he would eat. And he told me that he enjoyed eating squirrel dumplings more than chicken dumplings. And so with that in mind, I wrote a song because he told me that you don't want to eat the red ones, you want to eat the gray ones. And then I asked him, well, what about the brown ones? He goes, I never had them. And I says, in Canada, they got black squirrels. Have you ever had those? He goes, no, I haven't had those either. And I know those are a delicacy because as I wrote the song, I was talking to a guy I worked with, and he says, yeah, I get them imported from Canada. So you can import Canadian squirrel meat if you are so inclined to eat squirrel dumplings. And so the song is about eating squirrels and how the red ones don't taste good, but the gray ones taste really good. And so that song, and I forgot there's another song that we did on that album as well. But I tossed that song over to release as on one of the compilations on Alora Britton Records. And then he says that any way we could do an exclusive song. And so many years ago when the band started, we were hired for a wedding gig for this politician's daughter, and Kenny got the gig because he used to know her and date her. Well, it ended up we got fired at the gig because Kenny ended up inside the coat check closet. He was banging her, and so we ended up writing a song called "Kenny Bang the Bride." And so, if you want to hear the true or somewhat embellished story, you can definitely check that out. You can definitely find them online. There's links on our Facebook page to get you to the song, or you can just go to Bandcamp and type in Jesse and the Hogg Brothers, Kenny Bang the Bride. It'll come right up, and you can help support us through that alternative label that we've now got we have 2 songs on, and they're a really big supporter of independent artists, and so they're a real pleasure for us to work with. But we were on Black and Blue Records, G.G. Allen's label, and we just branched out and wanted to do stuff ourselves. So we're now on a label that I'm involved with, and it's called Cowpunk Records. And so on Cowpunk Records, we put out our first release, which is the Love Cat CD, and then we repressed our album, which was on Black and Blue Records, but we repressed it on CD on Cowpunk Records called Get Hammered, and we got a bunch of stuff coming out besides Nobody Spanks Like a Nun. And I will just tell you that you will be surprised how diverse the sound's going to be. But I'll give you the big hint. In December, our new album is called Songs About Food and Other Stuff. And we do a lot of songs about food, including tater tots, ranch dressing, Marty's chili, and I'll just leave it at that. And I really appreciate all the support. Please listen to us on your favorite streaming service, whatever it may be. Please go to our YouTube channel and check out all the videos that we've put out. And we really appreciate you coming to see us live. There's nothing that we appreciate more. Our tour schedule is on our website, and it's jesseandthehoggbrothers.com. But you can also see us on Tourbox, and you can also see us on Bands in Town and other places where they list independent artists that are coming to your town. And we've got some interesting shows coming up. We're back in Las Vegas on November 9th. We're going to be playing with Stagnetti's Cock over at the Double Down Saloon. So and there we've played with them before. That is one really, really fun band to play with. And someone says, no, I'm not playing with his cock. It's the name of the band, and they keep their clothes on, so it's not like it's an X-rated show. But if you want that, you can go around the corner from the Double Down and go visit the Piranha Club, and good luck to you. I know that CJ5's buddy Jason said to him, he said, yeah, you don't want to use the bathroom at the Double Down, you're going to want to go to the Piranha Club. And I'd say, if you go into the Piranha Club, whatever happens, that's something that it'd be best if it stayed in Vegas. That's all. I'll just leave it at that. But on the other hand, a lot of people, one night we played at the Double Down, and this guy was sitting there, and we ended up doing 2 sets because the band that was coming on at 2 a.m. canceled. So we came back and played another set at 2 a.m. and this guy came back with all his friends from the Piranha Club, and that was one of the craziest sets we've ever played. And we have a lot of fun playing Vegas, but we're also got gigs coming up. We're playing a combination of wrestling and music, and that's going to be out in Bowerston, Ohio, at the Shack, and that's going to be a real fun gig. We're playing over at the Maplewood Tavern out in Cleveland, where we're playing up in northern Indiana. I think it's at the threes. Oh man, go check out our schedule, because we're playing all over the place. And then we're playing in for the first time ever in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's coming up in September. And Kenny's originally, as much as I always look at him as a Texan, because I've known him for all the years, my cousin from Texas, but he actually was born in Memphis. So he's looking forward to going to his old stomping grounds in Memphis. So should be an interesting time for that as well. And we are dying to get back to the Dallas area and bring CJ5 down there, because CJ5, he's a Kentucky, Indiana boy, and he's never been into Texas, and I don't know if he's ready to play cowpunk in a place where there's lots more cows than he's ever seen. Steers, cows, and longhorns, and so Anyway, I really appreciate Rob having us here on Undergroundopolis, and it is my pleasure. And for all the locals, please come out on the 31st and catch us with the all female indie artist night. And we are not going to wear dresses, but we will be playing with all those beautiful women and all their great music. And I guarantee you will enjoy Never Say Die. It's a fun club, and my drummer Hester has some of his artwork hanging there. And at any of our gigs with Hester there, he will custom make you some artwork. So you want some Hester art, you definitely come and get it.
All right,
Elvis. Well, thank you very much.
And with that, we will thank you all very much for tuning in. We will roll the credits. That is all our time we have for now. Thank you for listening to Undergroundopolis. Remember, we do this every Wednesday night, bringing you new and exciting artists every week. Be sure to hit up their websites and social media and stream or download their music. If you like this show, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, any streaming platform, and leave us a review as well. I'm your host, Rob Lyon, signing off.